Welcome to the latest episode of the SCU show. I'm your host, SCU, episode number 78. Glad to be back once again. And of course, I got to do this. So thank you, Brandon Estevez, for allowing us in his studio for this week. Next week, I just made it official. We are going to have two shows, big stuff. Episode number 79, your usual talk to Super Bowl next week. And we'll also have an XFL preview show. A lot coming next week. Can't wait. It's going to be a good show for the SCU show next week. Okay. So before we get to the Super Bowl stuff, we'll get to at the end of the show. I'll give you my pick. Brandon will be the first to hear my pick. By the time this podcast comes out, I already have given my pick on Monday Night Sports Talk. We're doing that tonight with News Talk New England. But for right now, he's going to be first to hear my pick officially. All right, let's get to the news stuff here. Denver, the Broncos, they've hired Sean Payton as their next head coach. I love the move. You can't not love the move. It's Sean Payton. Sean Payton took the Saints when he took over the Saints all those years ago. They were a 3-win team. He took them to the playoffs the following season. That's how Sean Payton works. Sean Payton has made this. He's done this thing all his whole NFL career. Obviously, he won the Super Bowl with the Saints in 2010. He's a great coach. He has a great quarterback in Russell Wilson. I don't know about the receivers. Everything. A lot of the roster for Denver is questionable, but if they can make it work, they do have Sean Payton, by the way. I just mentioned that. They can make it work. Honestly, this is the chance for both Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. This is a chance for Denver to take second place in the AFC West behind Kansas City. Because, come on, we already talked about this so many times already. Patrick Mahomes lost his top receiver. What does he do? 41 touchdowns, 4,000 yards, and he took the Chiefs back to the Super Bowl. Well, come on. Kansas City's going to win the division next year. Denver has a chance to be second place and potentially get a playoff spot. Why? Look at the Chargers. I mean, God, this just came up today. I was going to mention this anyway. The Chargers are most likely to cut Keenan Allen, their top receiver for all these years. They're probably going to get rid of him. I'm okay with it. He has been injury prone. He's not been the same guy he was in his earlier years. He's obviously way out of his prime at this point. And then he also got rid of Gerald Everett. He didn't do much. The team right now for the Chargers it's Justin Herbert, it's J.C. Jackson when he comes back, and it's going to be Austin Eckler. Everybody knows who Austin Eckler is, the running back for the Chargers. He is spectacular. He's going to be the number one receiver because Mike Williams, another injury-prone guy, might kick him out the door too. I mean, at this point, you're looking at a potential rebuild for the Chargers. So Denver, you want to take advantage of that. You also want to take advantage of what the Raiders are doing. Raiders don't have a quarterback. And now I know, obviously, Tom Brady just retired. We'll talk about that in a moment. But just talk about Aaron Rodgers. Everybody's went to the Pro Bowl. It's like, Devontae Adams misses you. Come on, go on, play with Devontae Adams in Vegas. That'd be cool, right? I mean, come on. The Packers led the league in passing all the years that Rodgers and Devontae Adams were together. We also got to remember this. Aaron Rodgers is a diva. I mean, look what he's done these last two off seasons. Oh, I'm going to go away from the team. I'm not going to deal with anybody. Leave me alone. Oh, by the way, I want a new contract too. Huh? This that's not how it works here, bud. I understand you're a first ballot Hall of Famer when you do retire, but it doesn't mean you get your way. Nobody gets the way in life. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Things don't always work out the way you hope. Trust me, I know that more than anybody. But anyway, Aaron Rodgers is a diva. You think he's going to come in here and everything's going to be sunshine and unicorns and rainbows when it comes to Vegas? No, it's not. It's definitely not. It's going to be a lot of drama. I mean, I don't know if Devontae Adams is going to be like, man, you changed. And Aaron Rodgers is going to be like, oh, well, I don't really care. And by the way, that's something I call a narcissist, if I have the term correct, if that is the correct definition of a narcissist, because I've dealt with them before. So I don't think Aaron Rodgers would work in Vegas, per se. I don't think it's the best move. It'd be fine. It would make sense. It would make sense for the NFL because the Packers want him in the AFC. They're done with Rodgers. I think Rodgers wants out. But you think he's going to go to Vegas and it's going to be sunshine and rainbows. I'm sorry. You're sadly mistaken. So once again, Sean Payton is the new Denver Broncos head coach. Russell Wilson is the quarterback. You got to make it work. Come on. You got to make it work. If you're Denver, this is the year. And you have to take second place in the division. I know. Now Denver fans will want, we're going to be in first place. Good luck beating KC. I mean, really. How many times have the Broncos beaten KC in the last few years with Patrick Mahomes under center? Not much. So good luck to Sean Payton. I'm glad he's back in the NFL. I'm sure Fox guys will miss him, but they're getting Tom Brady in a couple of years. This is the year, Denver. Go make it work. Get back to the playoffs in 2023, 2024. Make it work. All right, SCU show number 78. Host SCU. Again, Brandon Estevez producing the show as always. Thank him. Again, got to compliment the RE20. Love this mic. It's amazing. All right. let's get to the other news story because there's a few here. Let's get to Tom Brady. I should have started with this, but I didn't. I just what I wrote down here. Tom Brady has officially retired. Again. I know. Oh, he's going to come back. Just watch. He's going to come back. I bet he's going to sign with the Raiders. No. Did you watch that video? Tom Brady was emotional saying goodbye. And by the way, who doesn't get emotional to say goodbye? I remember last year I left Arby's when I moved here to Massachusetts. I moved here January 24th. I stayed in Boston for a week, moved to Worcester February 1st. I left Arby's January 20th, the day before I left for Jersey to see my friends for a few days. You damn right I was emotional when I left. I worked there for almost every day for a single year. I only left a few times to cover some football stuff and do my thing. Never able to get any days off. So much overtime. Made a family there in Virginia. I miss you guys, by the way, if you have watched this. Of course, when you get emotional, you know. That's when you know it's real. You know it's the goodbye is real. Tom Brady's not coming back next year. I don't know what he's going to do over the next year because this just came out today on a Monday. He was on the herd with Colin Cowherd, which, by the way, inspired me to do this right here. I'll tell you that right now. This inspired me to get into radio. Syndicated radio TV. Tom Brady told Colin Cowherd today he is not joining Fox until the fall of 2024. That's a whole what? That's like 19 months or something? I don't know math. He's not going to be joining Fox for quite a while. So we have Greg Olson back in the booth. Have Kevin Burkhardt back in the booth next year for Fox, main broadcast. But anyway, my point here about Brady retiring was that he should have retired after the Super Bowl. Who would not want to go out on top? Who would not want to go on top? I would certainly love to go on top. Maybe one day, because I do play-by-play as well as radio. Radio is more the goal in life for me, but I do enjoying the play-by-play game, and I'd love to one day maybe broadcast a Super Bowl. If I ever get that chance, I'm going out calling a Super Bowl. That's the peak right there for all broadcast. I wish Joe Buck did that with Troy Aikman this year. They could stay with Fox this year, go to the Super Bowl in Arizona, then go to ESPN. They decided not to. Okay, whatever. I want to do. Al Michaels did it last year. Last game with NBC after 15 years, 16 years. Super Bowl. Called it onto Amazon Prime. He didn't officially end it all, but he went out with a bang. Derek Jeter went out with a bang. Final hit of his career. Walk-off win, ninth inning against the Orioles. Maybe back in the day. Kobe. I know he didn't make the playoffs. He didn't win a finals going out, but he went out with a bang. 60 points against the Utah Jazz in 2013. Who would not want to go out on top? Who? No, I mean, if you say you don't want to go on top, you don't know what you're talking about. That's what I feel. Tom Brady should have gone out on top. He shouldn't have went and won the Super Bowl with the Bucs this first year. You literally 7 Super Bowl titles. That's more than not just any player. That's more than a franchise in history. The Patriots Steelers have 6. Tom Brady alone, a man, a human, a player, has 7. And he didn't want to go on top of doing that. Decided to come back next year, and I understand they did well. Won the division again. They lost to the Rams in the division round. They didn't want to go out like that, so I guess I understand him coming back another year. Even worse this year. So I would have gone out on top. I would have gone on after Super Bowl 55 if I were Brady. He decided not to. And he went out losing, and everybody loves to make fun of this, which I think is ridiculous again. He went out losing to the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, everyone's going to laugh at that. But nonetheless, Tom Brady, I think it's over. I don't think he comes back. If he does, I will be very surprised. And, of course, we'll have the reaction here on the SCU show. But for now, it's over. A chapter is closed. Congratulations to Tom Brady on the best career in NFL history. And I can't wait for him to be at Fox. I thought he was going to be at Fox this year. I thought maybe, they have him on the pregame shows this Sunday or something. Obviously not in the booth with Greg Olson being there, but come on. 2024, you're missing a whole nother season. What are you going to do? Play golf? I just don't get it. I mean, maybe he has to figure out his divorce and the child custody or something. I don't know. I just can't wait for Tom Brady to be in the booth 2024. It's going to be a good time, and I'll be sure to watch, of course, his debut in about, 18 months, 19 months from now. It'll be fun. And final news topic before we get to the Super Bowl stuff. 49ers. Oh, no. All right, 49ers, what are you doing? Come. The 49ers are not bringing back Jimmy Garoppolo. And that is just probably the dumbest thing I've heard ever. And well, it's not the dumbest thing I've heard of. I've heard a lot of dumb things in my life. I just don't understand. Why would you not bring Why would you not bring back Jimmy Garoppolo? Do you see what you have right now? If you're the 49ers, do you see what you have in your quarterback room? Trey Lance, bust. Let's say it with you, everybody. Trey Lance, bust. I mean, yes, he had an okay career at North Dakota State. North Dakota State is a storied college football franchise at this point, even though they play in FCS, not FBS. He didn't play for like a whole year and a half. He got drafted in the first round. The Niners traded up for him. Niners, you got to admit, you goofed. You messed up. Trey Lance is obviously not the guy. No way in hell is he the guy. Then you got Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy had a great rookie year. Took over Jimmy G, 7-0, NFC Championship game, couple playoff wins, fine and dandy, won the NFC West. You also got to remember, this guy was last. Literally the last player picked in the NFL draft. Last. What they call that? Mr. Irrelevant. So he had a great first year, but is it going to be the same next year? I don't know. Now, you can make the argument if you're a Niners fan, or if you like the Niners. Like, I like the Niners. Niners can win the division next year because the division is such crap now. We don't know what's going on with the Rams. They lost another coordinator, I think. The Chargers, not the Chargers, the Seahawks. Is Geno Smith really going to do as well as he did this year? And don't get me started on the Cardinals. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so you can make the point that the Niners will be fine next year. They could be all right. Yeah, they could. Or they could be a total dumpster fire because the quarterback is the leader of your team. If your quarterback is no good, your team is basically no good. Now, again, you can make the argument. George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk. You got that powerful defense led by Joey Bosa. You got a lot of talent there. Oh, by the way, they just lost D'Amico Ryans to the Texans. They lost another defensive coordinator. What's going to happen now? What's going to happen to the Niners defense now? I don't know. We'll have to see who they hire as defensive coordinator and see how that works out for them. But right now, your quarterback room is a disaster. It's a mess. It's horrible. Trey Lance and Brock Purdy are not going to sign Jimmy G. By the way, whoever does sign Jimmy G, you have pretty much won the jackpot at that point because Jimmy G is going to be spectacular no matter where he goes. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be San Francisco, and I just don't get it. I just don't understand why the Niners would not re-sign Jimmy Garoppolo. That's to be the top number one on the priority list for them this offseason. Sign Jimmy G. Long-term deal. Niners, do yourself a favor and give that man a contract because he is going to be, I don't want to say the reason you guys are successful in 2023, but he's going to be he might be the reason you're not successful in 2023. So, again, Niners, do yourself a favor. Sign Jimmy G. Long-term deal. Just makes too much sense not to. You want to let Kyle Shanahan talk about, we like what we have. Really? You like Trey Lance? Okay. Good luck. I'll take Seattle to win the division if Trey Lance is the starting quarterback week 1. We'll get to that, later on this year when we're closer to the next NFL season. For now, you got to sign Jimmy G. I mean, you just have to. You can't hope that Brock Purdy's the guy after 7 games. I mean, go look at Colin Kaepernick, what he did with the Niners. We thought he was great. I mean, he fell off a rock. Might be the same for Purdy. And if you start Trey Lance, go Seahawks. You're going to win the NFC West next year. What a mess in there in San Francisco. I mean, they have a great team, but got to fix that quarterback thing. Okay, here we go. The coup de grace, the meat and potatoes of the show here. SCU show number 78. I'm your host, SCU. By the way, I mentioned this on Twitter. We had over 1,600 hits in our first 2 episodes back since last year. So, again, thank you all very much for checking out the show. We really appreciate it. Big news coming soon. I'm not going to get into it right now. So, all right, let's go. Super Bowl 57, the coup de grace, the final game of the NFL season. Sad to think about. It's been such a great NFL season. The Chiefs and the Eagles will meet in Arizona this Sunday. And, I mean, these teams are so evenly matched, it's not even funny. Like, seriously, look at these stats that I have right here in front of me. Both teams have scored 563 points this season. Both of them scored 563 points. Both of them have a Pro Bowler with the last name Kelsey. They're brothers, by the way, in case you didn't know that. Both teams have MVP quarterback candidates. I already said Patrick Mahomes is my MVP. We'll find out this week who wins the NFL MVP. I believe it's on Thursday this year. And in Vegas, the NFL Honors. So we'll see who wins the NFL MVP this Thursday. Both teams, obviously, the number 1 seeds. But there are a few differences here. By the way, this was a big thing here. I just checked it out this morning. Nicole Hartman, like number 3, maybe number 2, maybe, no, he's the 3. The number 3 wide receiver for the Chiefs, behind Marcus Valdes-Scantling and who's the other? Juju Smith-Schuster. Nicole Hartman out for Super Bowl 57. That's a loss for the Chiefs, man. Let me tell you, he's a very underrated receiver, and that just really blows for the Chiefs. So what's going to be the difference here? Well, I'll tell you this much. I'll tell you one thing here that I noticed: the Chiefs' run game, the Eagles' run game, is going to be absolutely shut down by Chris Jones on that defensive line. He's going to shut that thing down. Boston Scott's going to have nothing going in that run game. It's going to be horrible. They're going to depend a lot on Jalen Hurts, which is fine. I love Jalen Hurts. I say it all the time. I love Jalen Hurts. Love versatile quarterback, so you might get all the rushing yards from him. You're also going to get a lot of passing yards from him as well. And it helps that he has two of the top 10 receivers in the league, Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown, who they got in the draft last year, or they traded for in the draft from Tennessee. Okay, so there's that. But again, we talked about, we just talked about Boston Scott's going to shut down Chris Jones, or by Chris Jones. But does that mean the Chiefs have the advantage here in the Super Bowl over the Eagles? No, they don't. They really don't. Obviously, both teams have top receivers. But the Eagles, they have the better receivers. I mean, come on, you're taking A.J. Brown and Marcus Valdes-Scantling as your one. Hello? Are you taking Juju or Devonta Smith as your two? Obvious, Devonta Smith. Obviously. No question about it. So we could talk about the offense all day long. I love offense. Makes the games exciting. Makes high-scoring games, right? I love high-scoring games. Everybody loves high-scoring games. But I always say this, and it always needs to be true these last, 15 years of Super Bowls. 3 words. Defense wins championships. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, who am I picking to win Super Bowl 57? Excuse me, I almost said 47. Who am I picking to win Super Bowl 57? The Philadelphia Eagles. There it is. I'm taking the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Former Cowboy fan, how ironic. The Philadelphia Eagles have the much better defense, and I don't trust Juju Smith-Schuster and Marcus Valdes-Scantling to be the top 2 receivers. I know Travis Kelce. We talk Travis Kelce all day. But I just heard on the Herd today with Greg Cosell, they're going to have Gardner Johnson, I believe his name is C.J. Gardner Johnson, covering Travis Kelce. Good luck with that, because come on, God. Now, I want Patrick Mahomes to win another trophy. I do. I would love to see him win number 2 in 3 years, 4 year span. But defense wins championships. The Eagles have the much better defense. The Philadelphia Eagles, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be your Super Bowl 57 champions. There you go. Brandon heard it first. You will hear it on Wednesday. My pick officially tonight on Monday Night Sports Talk. Go live on Facebook, News Talk New England. You will hear me take the Philadelphia Eagles to defeat the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 57. And with that, that's going to be a wrap. But what an NFL season has been. I wish we were the whole season. Unfortunately, obviously, Brandon moved to a new studio, which very nice studio, by the way. Can't hate. I love this new mic. I love everything about it. I was transitioning between different jobs, moving different places here soon as well. But this is happening a month or so from now, so still time to do the show. Still, we'll make time for the show because this is the year I need to make this show happen. This is the year I need to make these power moves with this radio show, this podcast. Because by 2025, I want to be at WEI Radio. Like, no doubt, no lie. Another story. I'll give you a story before we end the show here. I was at the Basketball Hall of Fame this Saturday calling the 4-1-3 Leeds game against the Garden State Warriors. And I noticed, I'm walking in, and I look to my left. There's a WEI Springfield radio studio right in the Hall of Fame. I was like, oh my God, I was like starstruck. And obviously in the media, you can't be starstruck, but God, they have a radio studio in the Hall of Fame. So now I have another bucket list is to do a podcast in the Hall of Fame. So who knows, maybe someday you'll see me out there doing the SCU show at the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts. There's only one way to find out, though. Subscribe, follow to the YouTube channel, available always. And yeah, so very excited for what's to come. It's going to be spectacular. Everything's going to be spectacular. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, Brandon for producing this podcast. This has been episode number 78 of the SCU Show.